Hi there, welcome to Tarotland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Capricorn energy. And like usual on this channel, we're going to do two rows. The top row is going to be high vibe Capricorn energy. The bottom row is going to be a more worldly, shadowy Capricorn energy. And we've all got our dualistic nature, so we can struggle within ourselves about making a decision. We have a dualistic nature. We kind of have to battle within ourselves because we have choices. And some people right now are battling within themselves. And even when we do move forward in high vibe Capricorn energy, we can still be battling within ourselves as we're moving forward. High vibe Capricorn is about freeing yourself from the things that manipulate you. Shadowy Capricorn, which we can all tap into, high vibe or low vibe. Shadowy is represented by the devil, our more worldly, shadowy nature. Do we put in the work and effort to free ourselves from the things that manipulate us, or do we let those things keep manipulating us? And our shadow nature is our more immature, prideful, lazy, egotistical, self-centered, petty, envious, jealous, blah, blah, blah. You know, the list goes on. So, and we all have some growing up and maturing to do and healing to do and expanding our perception of ourselves and the world around us at any given time. Are we working through those issues, or are we not? When we work through those issues, and we might view life differently and want to live our life differently, we might have some people in our life or in the world who don't like it that we're doing that, because if we wouldn't have changed, we would have keep hanging out with them and viewing life the way they view it, being in certain jobs, friendships, and relationships with people. So listen to your intuition, how you harness your Capricorn energy in relationship to other people in your life. And shadowy Capricorn energy can be people who are, the truth sets us free. And some people have some lessons learned that some other people haven't learned. Healing, growing, maturing. They might be caught up in the illusion of themselves or the world, or looking outside of themselves for things to be the answer to them being happy, versus learning it starts within them, freeing themselves from things that manipulate them. So the reason for the top rose reading is fear, which can also be the reason why the reading came out. We could have lived our life a certain way, and then we can realize it's kind of tipping us into out of balance, because high vibe energy is balanced. And part of it could have been because of our fears and our insecurities of moving forward in life differently. So high vibe people realize that, and they don't like continuing to keep carrying their fears and insecurities with them. So they do the work to free themselves. And then again, they could have people in their life that aren't doing that work to free themselves. And then we're kind of living our life differently than some other people could be living their life. The reason for the bottom rose reading is decrease. It's kind of like moving forward in life in a high vibe way is like continuing to roll the ball up the path of life. And when we think, that, oh, I don't have to do that maybe, it starts to wear away at us because we know we're not facing our fears and insecurities. We know we're not growing and healing and maturing ourselves. And we can think, us in our prideful, egotistical, worldly nature, think it's okay, I don't have to do that. But it starts to wear away at us. So it causes the decrease. And the water in tarot can represent our emotionally loving nature and loving people in our life. Sometimes those things start to slip through our fingers because we haven't learned to offer love to our worldly nature, to move forward in hope and faith and belief and love. So, and we can be tempted to keep living our life the same way because we have our own fears about living life differently. So the shadowy row can just represent, we'd kind of like to stay in our comfort zone. Let's go look at the bottom row. We have commitment, the loving man, the loving woman. So the way I read tarot is the masculine figures can represent how we present ourselves in the world and how we're taking action in the world, and the feminine figures can represent how we think and feel. We all have the free will choice emotionally to align with living our life the way we've been living it, loving that. Loving the things that we've been doing in life. And there's some people in the world who they are living their life maybe a way we used to live our life, or a way we used to view life, motivated and inspired by certain things, viewing life a certain way. And those people could still be happy living their life that way. And we also kind of would like to keep staying in relationships with them because we have love for them. They could be people who present themselves as loving people. And they could have been loving people. It's just that eventually, if people aren't continuing to grow and heal and mature themselves, eventually there's nothing new to learn there, right? We're just doing the same old thing over and over and over. And that's kind of what shadowy energy can be about. It's like stagnant, dead energy because people aren't facing their fears to grow and heal and mature themselves. And just like you could look at this as a job. We took a job that we loved, but we've kind of learned what we needed to learn, and we would be ready to go to take on more responsibility and learn new things. And they're like, oh no, there's nothing new to learn here. You're just going to do this job like forever. And high vibe energy is about growing to your full potential. It's like, I think I can. I think I can go to that next stage of life. And so some people could be thinking of leaving a job right now, just like some people could be thinking of leaving a relationship right now, because they do want to be they want the potential to grow to their full potential. And their intuition is telling them, if you keep staying where you're at, even though you might love the job, love the people, love the friendship, it's kind of stopping you from growing to your full potential. And if you've offered love and encouragement to the workplace, to the relationship, for them to move forward with you in this way, but in their fear, they could be afraid of stepping outside their comfort zone. If we're going to move to the next phase of life, just like we did, age 15, going to age 18, going to age 21, going to age 25, we do that throughout our life. But some people could have had a dream, because we all have our idea of what the dream life is and the dream relationship is and all those things. Some people, this was their dream. I just want to have a job. And if they get in a job where people, once they've learned job skills and responsibilities, well, now that you know that, I think you're ready for this job, taking on a little more responsibility, and we could have someone else in that job. It's kind of like, now that you're going to be an 18-year-old, we want you to be more like an 18-year-old, because we have other people coming in that are 15. And you've already been age 15. It's time for you to move to the next level. But when we get to be adults, we get out in the world and we can get a job, we can get in a relationship. And some people are like, that was my dream. I never planned to grow to my full potential. And high vibe energy is also being more independent, more authentically yourself, shining your authentic light, using your unique talent, skills, and interests that you've been given as a gift that could be different than other unique talent, skills, and gifts that other people have. To use those things to help your contribution kind of to the world. And some people could think, what? No, life's just about getting a job, getting in a relationship, getting married, conforming to the world, making my life about the world. I'm good. And the whole thing is, we just need to see the truth of it. Some people, in order to move forward in your life differently, just like we did during those age groups when we were younger, you have to face your fears about believing, I think I've learned some skills and lessons in life. I think I can, overcome at the next level of life. If you look at life like a video game where you have to overcome certain obstacles to get to the next level, some people in life are like, I'm good at this. There's new obstacles up there. I don't even want to deal with those. And we have to see the truth of it and accept it. Everybody's got free will to live their life the way they want. And there could be people, maybe, This could represent like getting in a job or a relationship with someone who's really not on the same page as you, because the job that you do want and a person that would be more on the same page as you isn't in your life. And so then you can get just maybe in a relationship because you want to be in a relationship. And then, the problem is we're emotionally complex human beings. And even though we feel like, it can't even be the difference of why you're not getting along is you have different viewpoints in life. What drives and motivates you is different. You could get in a relationship with someone who maybe the way they like to live their life is different than the way you want to live your life. Big city, small city, more going out to these type of events and doing things versus not doing those things. Everybody has their different ways of living our life, and sometimes we can get ourselves in relationships we never should have gotten ourselves into. But in our worldly nature, like we wanted to be in a relationship. And instead of facing our fears and our insecurities of, I'm not going to just indulge my worldly nature, I can, like our sexual natures, like our life force energy nature, we can channel that energy into other things other than channeling it into a relationship. I can put time, work, and effort into growing and maturing and healing myself, my career, if no one who seems to be the right person for me to be in a relationship with. If I get in a relationship or live my life in a way that isn't really aligned with my truth, it kind of becomes my new comfort zone, which maybe really wasn't aligned with my truth anyway. It might be my more immature nature, my impulsive nature, my lustful, greedy, lazy nature, And sometimes we just get in a job or a relationship. We can love people, but we realize that maybe the relationship isn't going to grow and mature and become a more deep, meaningful relationship. Maybe they could like to be in a relationship and want to stay in a relationship with us, but sometimes if we're in relationships with shadowy people, it's like we can give people love and encouragement and for them to deal with their fears and insecurities. And some people like to be in a relationship like that. And that can be the type of relationship they like. And they never do that work within themselves to deal with their own past pain and heartbreak or things like that, to free themselves of it for the relationship to move forward. The truth sets us free to live our life differently, to expand our perception of how we view ourselves, how we view the world, what we believe is possible, to have more hope and faith and belief in ourselves and in love. And some people don't view relationships that way. Some people do operate from their more worldly, shadowy nature. They let the love that's possible, the choice of love, to love themselves, to heal and grow and mature, slip through their fingers, to let it go. And they have that free will choice. And then they could view relationships that, yeah, I love relationships. I like to be in a relationship. But I like it when other people give to me. And I look to other people, because shadowy energy could be codependent energy. I look outside myself for the answer for me to feel better. We can all want to be in relationships, friendships, community. A lot of people, though, when they're in supportive, encouraging environments, over time, they eventually do this work within themselves to love and believe in themselves and to heal so that they can kind of grow to their full potential, And other people are like, no, I just want you to keep giving to me. This is the type of relationship I like. Or they like to be the loving, nurturing person to other people that might have fear or insecurity or pride, something. And they like to play that role in people's life. And then that makes them feel like a loving, nurturing person. But people who can be like that, when they get in relationships with people, we can all get in a relationship because of where we're at in the stage of life, how we view life, our fears, our insecurities. We get in a relationship, it can seem very loving and nurturing. And that can be the role people like to play in people's lives. High vibe people can do that with people too. I like to be a loving, nurturing person in a relationship. The difference is the loving, nurturing people have hope and faith and belief that the other people are going to deal with their fears and insecurities and like go to the next level of life. Other people who could be why we got in relationship with them because we think and view them as being like us. The only difference is they like people to keep staying in their fear and their insecurity and their self-limiting beliefs because they like to play that nurturing role in people's lives. And if those people do heal and grow and mature themselves, well, then they don't like it. It's like, well, you've changed. Now the whole relationship has changed. Now it would be more like a counterpart, a peer-to-peer. You don't look to me to be you being the child and me being your parent. That's the thing. Children grow up and children kind of rebel against their parents, and love and a more high vibrational relationship is about equal give and take, and we treat each other the way we like to be treated. And it isn't like I'm in a position of authority over you. And sometimes people like feeling in that position of authority over other people. And they're looking for people who maybe haven't learned to love and believe in themselves so they can come in, be like their savior, but I don't want you to, in high vibe energy, love and grow and believe in yourself. And we just need to see the truth of it. So if some people in some of their kind of more mismatched relationships could have realized that they were in a relationship that people weren't motivated to kind of go to the next level of the relationship, where to deal with some of their fears and past pain and heartbreak and stuff. And the high vibe people realize if I keep staying in this relationship, I'm not going to grow to my full potential. Shadowy energy can be where we end up feeling, because it's at the overhead, it's kind of represented by the devil, those things that oppress us, confine us, limit us, restrict us, imprison us. And we don't want to keep feeling that way. And then we have to deal with, why would I be tempted to stay in that job, that friendship, that relationship? Because we'd all like them to work because we don't want to have to go find another one. But high vibe people did this work within themselves at a certain stage of life to offer themselves love, to deal with their own fears and insecurities about, why am I afraid of being more authentically myself? Why would I stay in this relationship? And of course, wearing a mask makes me think of our egoic nature. By worldly standards, it can look great. So it kind of, we want to be in a relationship. We want to have a job. We want to have stability and security and enjoy some of the finer things in life. How is my ego tempting me to keep living my life in whatever way I'm living my life? And it can block us from having more hope and faith and belief that we can take our talents, skills, interests, knowledge, lessons that we've learned in life to expand, to make our life and the world more beautiful. And as more people live their more authentic life and get out from behind their ego and keep learning lessons in life to grow and mature themselves, so they treat more people in the world with love and respect and encouragement and a just and fair way, that's how we can have a great impact on the world. But for a long time, we can go back and forth about it. And we wonder, can I do it? If I were to be more authentically myself, I have to deal with those fears and insecurities, and being in shadowy energy can be more like scattered, fragmented energy. Love is what unifies us, and Instead of letting 1, 2, or 3 aspects of ourselves at different times kind of running our life, we want to master our thoughts and our emotions and all our different aspects of self into a cohesive whole, where we're making decisions taking all aspects of ourself, like being a good leader in our life. And then the travel card, of course, reminds me of Sagittarius energy, which is about higher learning and education. And we kind of wrap our brain around this game of life. Being a good teacher to ourselves, being our best mother, father, coach voice to ourselves. Why am I not being more independent in the world? Why am I letting my fear, my insecurity, my pride, my ego, my codependent nature, my worldly nature, wanting to hide my authentic self behind a mask? And we do this work to love and believe in ourselves so that we can move forward in life differently. And some people did do that. Some people are doing that. Some people are going through the process of doing that. Because we have this dualistic nature, we have these different people in our life. We can have people in our life. And if it's not people, it's books, it's movies, it's music that inspires us to love and believe in ourselves. But we can also have people in our life or people that we see that are being more authentically themselves, more just and fair and balanced and stable or grounded or loving or more self-disciplined, because high vibe energy is about disciplining your more immature worldly nature. Wanting to have our high vibe nature in the driver's seat of our life and our shadow nature in the back seat. Kind of like, and we like our fearful nature, and we offer comfort and love and compassion to our shadow nature so that we can keep moving forward, taking action more out of hope and faith and belief and love and in ourself than letting our shadow nature drive our life, which is only kind of going to run our life off into the ditch. High vibe energy represented by God, shadow energy represented by the devil. And we've all got lessons to learn in life. And we've all kind of run our life off into the ditch because we made decisions not based on love, out of fear, insecurity, codependency. And we're tired of learning those lessons. And I don't want to learn those lessons anymore. And so now I've learned, and some people did, some people are working on it. I want to make decisions out of love, justice, fairness, truth, a higher truth and justice than just what the world tells me. I'm more valuable than just what I wear, what I drive, if I'm in a relationship, if I'm not in a relationship, I want to be independent of all of that, to know my worth and value, and to believe in myself and kind of not just settle for the status quo, making my life about conforming to the world. I believe there's a higher truth and justice to aspire to. It's like life-giving energy, represented by God, trying to bring new things into reality. And the shadowy nature can represent people repeating an old pattern. How are we ever going to go to the next phase of life if people keep doing the status quo? And nobody's willing to listen to their intuition and use their unique talent, skills, and interest to give birth to new things. If people had done that since the beginning of time, we'd still be cave people. And all the people who had ideas and creativity and imagination, about how they think they could change things and try new things. Yes, we go try new things that might not work out, just like them making the light bulb. But I'm glad they kept trying with the light bulb. I'm glad to have light bulbs. I'm glad to have indoor plumbing. I'm glad to have airplanes, heart surgery, and cell phones. And that was because people didn't face their fears to listen to their intuition. And when their intuition told them, if I keep just doing the status quo out of my fear, maybe, I'm not going to grow to my full potential. And I have unique talent, skills, and interests that inspire me and motivate me, and just wanting to grow to my full potential and feel proud of myself, that I didn't stay at a more immature way of viewing life or acting in relationships or being all about myself or selfish or greedy. I want to grow to my full potential. And some people are motivated to do that and some people aren't. And we just need to see the truth of who's who in our life. Who wants us to be in friendships and relationships with them, making our life in shadowy energy more out of fear, insecurity, codependency, ego, indulgence, immaturity, and who in our life encourages us to face our fears and insecurities, to love and believe in ourselves. And who are we going to choose to hang out with? And there's some people we could know in our life that are like, nope, I'm not doing that. I would have to step out of my comfort zone. I've never been there before. There's no template to follow. No rule book. I'd have to listen to love and intuition to guide me. I don't do that. I like to live maybe more from my mind than my heart. I like to make my life about me or the world or indulgence or my immature nature or my prideful nature. I don't want to do life differently. Okay. Whatever it was, and it could have been you knew some people have a lot of fear of being more independent of their fearful nature, their defensive nature. I get hurt out there. If I do love, I could get hurt. I don't even want to do love. I just want to be in relationships, present myself as a loving person, and take from someone. Make them think I harness high vibe energy, that I'm willing to bring a dream into reality, but I'm really not. It stays right here. And hopefully, the other person, once they get in the relationship with me, will be too afraid of leaving to get another one, and we'll both kind of deplete ourselves of what was there to begin with, because our fear and our insecurity and our selfish nature and our immature nature probably grows over time and gets worse over time, just like anything that we look to be the answer to our problems can become like an addiction. Love, we were meant to learn that love was the answer. And when we don't make love the answer, we're staying in a pattern of life more out of the fear or the insecurity or the codependency, or because we're immature and bossy and controlling, and odds are all those things, whatever it is going to get worse over time. Or I just like to manipulate people. I just like to control people. And that can get worse over time. And we can kind of see the truth of it. And high vibe people come up here. We have professional assistance, kindred partnership, and the sacred temple. You know, if we need to go get help in whatever shape and form that is, we go get the help. If it's from other people who have learned how to free themselves from some of the things that manipulate them, and they can tell us how they did it, or books or music or, psychologists, psychiatrists, self-help books, and getting in relationships while aligning with, we have free will, what aspect of myself emotionally am I going to align with? The devil tries to make, and our shadow nature tries to make us think we should live our life like this. We don't have to do that. We don't have to put in work and effort to work through any of those issues. We can just make our life about ourselves and the world and be happy. But it might look like we're happy or we have all these things of the world, but are we doing it because of love or fear? We have the free will choice to align with our more loving, hopeful, believing nature and grow to our full potential with the sacred temple. As some of you are doing that and moving forward, it starts within us aligning with ourself first and learning how to be our own best mother, father, coach, voice to ourselves. Being realizing and kind of growing up within ourselves. If I keep indulging my more immature worldly nature, I'm going to reap what I sow. I'm probably going to be in relationships with people who are happy that I am being immature or prideful or egotistical or lustful or whatever. If I want to be in a more mature relationship, that's more just, fair, growing, challenges me to go to my full potential, I need to align with that aspect within myself. And that is loving and believing myself, treating myself with love and compassion, forgiveness for the mistakes I've made. Life is about learning lessons. We get out of our more immature, prideful, egotistical nature to admit I did have lessons to learn. And we also see the truth of other people in our life and how they have lessons to learn and growing up and maturing to do. And we realize what people we should maybe be in relationships with and have learned some of the life lessons we have and which people haven't. We've all been there. We wish them peace. I wish you were more just and fair. I wish you acted more with character and integrity. I wish you were more loving. I wish you were more self-disciplined. I can love you and I can let you go live your life. And I'm going to go live my life. To go be in relationships with people who have learn some of the lessons we have. And though, being brave doesn't mean you don't have fear. It means you take action anyway. So, what's coming up? We all have fear and insecurity, and that's the whole thing. And that's why sometimes people can keep staying in their comfort zone, because it is, our worldly nature is like an onion with perpetual layers and layers and layers. And we go to that next level of life, and it does challenge us. New levels of our worldly nature of fear and insecurity and defensiveness and fear will arise. Do we offer love to those, like being a good parent to yourself, instead of indulging your more immature worldly nature? I'm going to offer myself, I am going to be a good parent to myself. And that's why some people aren't coming with. Shadowy energy can be more codependent. There's some people that have people in their life, whether it's siblings, friends, parents, that they are kind of codependent on for feeling more emotionally stable and grounded within themselves. And they have fear of becoming flying the nest. I fly alone, to become more independent. And also more independent of the world. I'm going to live my authentic life. I'm going from a place of love. I want to go get in the career fields, the friendships, relationships with people who really inspire me and love me to grow to my full potential. But they can also have some other people in their life, and sometimes those people in their life, are trying to keep them staying where they're at. Keep them in their fear, keep them in their insecurity. Well, you love me, don't you? Aren't you going to stay aligned with me? Don't you look to me as like a parent or a teacher in your life? And some of the people we could love have people in their life that they still have that kind of imbalanced kind of relationship with, where they, instead of listening to their own intuition and loving and believing in themselves, they defer to other people, but some of those other people don't want them to grow to their full potential. I live my life like this. I want you to live your life like that. I would be kind of fearful. What if you went and lived your authentic life and you had this great life and I'm stuck back here living my life like this? That would bother me. And I don't like that. So I'm going to try to present myself as loving to you to get you to keep living your life like this. And I might do things to try to instill fear and insecurity in you. Like, if you go live your authentic life, I don't know if we'd be friends anymore. I don't know if I would invest that much time and energy into you anymore, whether it's a friend or a family member even, And some people aren't willing to stand up for themselves and love themselves and claim their independence that I deserve. If you basically aren't encouraging me to love and believe in myself and to listen to my intuition and live my authentic life, then at what point are we willing to let those people run through our fingers? And some people aren't. high vibe energy, you have to detach from an old way of living life or viewing life, and maybe some people in your life you might have to distance yourself from. And some people aren't willing to do that. If they have people in their life who are willing to stay in relationship with them, but maybe only if they, high vibe energy, you're being truthful, honest, just, fair, acting with character and integrity. Some people we know could have people in their life that are trying to manipulate and control them. Well, we can be irritated by that, but really it just highlights an aspect within some of the people that we could love of something we weren't seeing about them. They wouldn't align with those people and let people manipulate and control them or tempt them if there wasn't part of them that aligns with that same maybe way of viewing life, or kind of reveals the fears that they have, and maybe they don't know their worth and value. Maybe they're not as stable and grounded and independent as we thought. There can be people who want to be in a relationship with other people, even if they have friends or family members, but you're like the third party, even if they marry you, because their primary loyalty for a core foundation they operate from, even if they marry you and have children with you, is those other people in their life. And it just reveals the truth to us that they have things within them and other people in their life that kind of manipulate and control them, or that is the truth of how they live their life and we weren't seeing it. And then we face our own fears about seeing the truth. My dream can't come into reality here because some of the people in my life don't have hope and faith and belief in love or in themselves. And I have a dream I want to bring into reality, and I am willing to face my fears to go on that journey. So, life's an adventure. We come in contact with all these different people to help us get clear about our truth. We can get in relationships with people. There's a lot of commonality in the foundation of some sort. But then we get clear that the low vibe or more worldly focused people might be on not doing things differently, and eventually that wears on people over time with the decrease. And the high vibe people are about adding to their foundation. I'm inspired to keep adding to my foundation, learning lessons in life, growing, healing, maturing myself, becoming all that I can be. And for some people, they're not. And we see the truth of it. So what's coming up for the high vibe people that they might not see coming? We have the Two of Swords, the Seven of Cups, the Leo Strength card, the Two of Cups, because of the High Priestess. And underneath that is the Tower and the Star card. Initially, we can leave a relationship or a friendship or a workplace, or you can get fired, or a friendship or romantic partner leaves you. Whatever the case is, or we just realize we need to leave it. Initially, we can feel stuck and we can feel confused. Sometimes we could have been dealing with some people that if you're not willing to indulge me in some way in this relationship, I am going to try to do things to kind of tear you down or be hurtful, be unkind, try to make you not love and believe in yourself, because I want you to be in the same energy I'm at, because then you'll keep staying in a friendship or relationship with me. And we can find it confusing because we did view those people as people we thought would be just and fair, that we would have a deep, meaningful relationship with. And then we're confused because they seem to be harnessing shadowy Leo energy of being kind of prideful and egotistical or stubborn. It's like, why aren't they doing love? And so then we listen to our intuition, two kind of cards of intuition here, about why someone would act that way. And the Tower card talks about what drives and motivates people at a core foundational level. And we can see the truth The Tower with the lightning striking is, as we work through this, maybe while we're in relationships trying to figure it out, or after we get out of some friendships or relationships, we do this work within ourselves to see the truth and how it was stopping us from shining our authentic light or having our dreams come into reality. Because again, some other people, their way of viewing the dream life or the dream relationship or the dream friendship might not be the same as yours. It might be where, no, we really don't do love. I don't really treat you the way you treat me. I gave up on aligning with that dream in my free will. I kind of am more about being in denial of the truth, creating an illusion so people will get in a relationship with me. And then I hope once they get in a relationship with me, even if they see the truth, I'm hoping they'll be in their pride and ego and they'll keep staying in a relationship with me anyway and doing life the way I always dreamed of doing it, which can be, I want to be immature. I want to be bossy. I want to be controlling. I don't want to change. I don't want to look at life from a higher perspective. I don't want to step out of my comfort zone. And we just see the truth that how we want to live our life is different. And we temper our fears. And in love, we keep moving forward. Love is the answer. And from love, we're able to detach from people who really we see the truth of don't have hope and faith and belief in love or in themselves. To let love and hope and faith guide the decisions that they make. They might make decisions more out of fear and insecurity or pride or ego or trying to manipulate and confuse people. Get them in codependent energy. Keep them in codependent energy. Appeal to their want for a relationship. Like using the love that you have for them to manipulate you to do the relationship the way they want. Because they don't want to see the truth of something in their own foundation, or detach from an old foundation to align with the people in their life that they're trying to build a life with. They still want to kind of maybe juggle, like I juggle all these people, I don't really commit to people or something, or I'm committed to other people in my past that I'm aligned with, and I'm not willing to be more independent of those people, even if I get in a relationship or marry someone. They're always a third party in the relationship, and other people see the truth of it. Until they free themselves from it, you'll free yourself from them. Because if other people are manipulated by something, not love and hope and faith is the third party in their life guiding their decisions, then if you get in a relationship with them, you're in a relationship with people who their foundation, it's not love driving their decisions. Fear, codependency, pride, ego. And then you're kind of imprisoned in an unstable foundation with them. And until they free themselves, your dream can't come into reality with them. So it's kind of like being a leader in the world, showing, those things don't manipulate me. If those things or those people or the world at large has a stranglehold on you, then we're not on the same page. And I'm going to detach from this foundation to move forward, even though I have fear. And it's like showing other people, like, wow, how do they do that? I'm sure they've got to be afraid. I'm sure, they have these fears and insecurities and codependencies just like I do. How is it that they are moving forward in this way? It's like, because I'm listening to my intuition and love and tempering my fears and insecurities. My shadow nature in the back seat. I offer it love and compassion, and I tell them, my own shadow nature, that we are going to move forward in truth and love and justice and fairness. And we are going to take action to bring our dreams into reality. We're just going to go about it, not taking action from fear and insecurity and pride and codependency. Because when we do that, we reap what we sow, and we didn't like that. So now we're going to face our fears about trusting our intuition and love to guide the decisions we make. And I think it's saying, you know, you have other options, and there's going to be other people that see that you're someone who isn't taking action more out of pride or ego and fear or codependency and insecurity and ego. And there's going to be other people that are going to get out of their fear to move forward with you on this path. Now, there's always shadowy people in the world, and there's some shadowy people that are all about ego and image and looking victorious and successful. And they might let go of one thing that looks by worldly standards successful to come want to get in a relationship with you because for some reason you look even more successful in some way. You're more attractive, you're more disciplined, you're more loving, you're more stable, more grounded. And they're just swapping one for the other. And I think you're going to listen to your intuition about who is coming towards you, who still hasn't been illuminated to the truth, who just views you as the next person to be in a relationship with that's good for their ego and their image. Acting out of more shadowy Leo energy of pride and ego. And you want to be in a relationship with the people who harness high vibe Leo energy, high vibe Capricorn energy, high vibe Aquarius, high vibe Pisces, Cancer, Libra, where other people harness those energies in a more shadowy, worldly way. And you're going to listen to your intuition, is what the High Priestess and the Two of Swords talks about, who the people I meet and the people who might communicate with me, which are the people that are trying to maybe tempt me more in my worldly nature with the things of the world, confuse me about the truth, try to manipulate me, try to tempt me in my lust and greed and pride and ego, and who are the people who seem to be revealing the truth, who've tempered their prideful, egotistical nature and really are on the same page as me. And those are the people I'm going to move forward with. And I'm not going to move forward with the other people because I've already been there and done that. And I realize I don't like living my life that way with other people who live their life that way. I need to be in a relationship with people who are on the same page as me. And there's going to be other people who are going to listen to their intuition. They are going to do this work within themselves to work through their own illusions that they had about relationships. Maybe thinking relationships were more about kind of the scales slightly being tipped in their favor, where they're kind of the privileged, pampered person in the relationship, male or female, or where it's kind of more about the ego or the image or about them. And you're going to listen to the high vibe people are going to work through those illusions they had about relationships and how their own ego nature or just even fear of being hurt had been stopping them from being in loving relationships of their dreams. And they're going to work through it to be in a relationship with you if they're not already. What's coming up for the people who harness a more worldly or shadowy Capricorn energy that they might not see coming up? Some of the people in your life that thought they could tear down your foundation, they could have done, it doesn't show it here, but the decrease card, not telling the truth, wearing a false mask, because they didn't want you to keep loving and believing in yourself, because they wanted you to keep kind of indulging them in a relationship. And if you weren't willing to do the relationship the way they wanted, they too could have been willing to let you go, maybe lied about why they didn't move forward with you in a relationship, hoping you'd feel stuck and confused about why they were willing to let this relationship go, and that you would give up your hope and faith and belief in your dreams and come back and do the relationship the way they wanted. Well, now that you're moving forward, some of those people are feeling stuck and confused, and they don't understand you know, even how you're doing this. How is it that you keep having so much hope and faith and belief in yourself when they're not someone who has hope and faith and belief in themselves? How, and they also could know that you had love for them and they were trying to manipulate the love that you had for them. So they're shocked that you would detach from them. And it's like, I can love people just like they can love people, but I'm not going to let people manipulate and control me where they might let other people manipulate and control them. If not other people, their shadow nature, their ego nature. And again, they have these illusions about what it means to be in a relationship. And this could be how they have known people to operate in relationships, and also being in a relationship with people who are more codependent, more about ego and image. And you could have looked like you had it all in that relationship and you let it all go. And they just can't understand that. It's like, that's okay. They don't have to understand it. What's coming up for the people who harness a more worldly, shadowy Capricorn energy that they might not see coming up? The Four of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, because of the Emperor energy. When people act kind of shadowy to some degree in a relationship, it can just be kind of being a little manipulative, kind of creating an illusion that they're just like you, but it's kind of more living more from their mind than their heart. Is kind of strategic, you know, and you just feel it's like inauthentic in a way. What some of those shadowy people didn't see coming is that people would heal and meditate on the truth and realize we're either harnessing high vibe Emperor energy in a relationship where in our Aries nature we're being a good leader in our own life and in that relationship, making good decisions, taking everyone into account, or we're a little bit more about ourselves. And people saw the truth of it, that other people in their life were more about themselves. You should work here. You should stay in this job. You should stay in this friendship or this relationship. It works for me. But I'm kind of a little bit more about myself. You know, that's my idea of what it means to work together with people, that we repeat this old pattern. I have this way of viewing relationships. Let's do it that way. And whatever kind of more immature or self-focused or worldly focused ways of viewing life that I have, that's how they wanted to live their life. And the high vibe people realized, I've been here and done this before. It is kind of like an old pattern, a way of viewing life at whatever stage of life, at different stages of life, the 1960s, the 1970s, the 1980s. People had different views of what a relationship was supposed to look like, what the goals were meant to be, how people were to act in a relationship. And there's some people that are just have this philosophy of life that it is to be more about them for some reason. Love is appreciating what everybody brings to the table. Two independent individuals who work together. Common goal there is where they overlap, but they respect that each other is their own individual, has their own dreams, has their own unique talent, skills, and things that they want to pursue, to feel like they've grown to their full potential. And some people don't like that. It's kind of like you're supposed to give up your dream, and you're supposed to want to make your life about working with me or about me. That's not equal give and take. That's not treating other people the way you like to be treated. But some people don't want to see the truth, and they have these illusions in their more prideful nature about what it means to be in a relationship. Some of them could be full of themselves and think, well, if people are going to be in a relationship with me, people are supposed to do this relationship kind of in this pattern. But it's not working together with people cooperatively from love and treating each other the way you like to be treated to give birth to anything new. And other people saw the truth of it. This person has this way of viewing relationships, and that's how they want to do it. And they don't ever plan to deal with any of their fears and insecurities, to detach from that old dream of how they view life or relationships, to give birth to anything new. And the high vibe people saw the truth of it, or are seeing the truth of it right now. And even though those people have fear, those people are listening to their intuition and tempering their fears because they want a dream to come into reality. And if at one point this seemed like the dream job, dream friendship group, dream relationship, at a core foundational level, people saw the truth that people were not making good decisions in this relationship. They were making more decisions that were more about themselves. Or they let someone else in their life, the Six of Cups can mean from their past, kind of manipulate and control them. It's like, that person doesn't manipulate and control me. I am independent of them, and so long as you're not independent of them and living your own authentic life, well then we can't be in a relationship. Even if that's your sibling. Well, I guess that's the person you have primary loyalty to. I hope you enjoy your life together. I'm going to go find someone who does want to work with me and have a deep, meaningful, authentic, loving relationship with me. Who's bold and brave enough, who's learned lessons in life, harnessing high vibe Aries energy to be independent, has learned lessons. High vibe Aries have learned lessons in all different areas of all four suits of the deck, harnessing all four kings. And some people are still have a lesson to learn about their fiery nature, about what drives and motivates them, could be, which isn't love, could be what drives and motivates them. Maybe they are just like to go indulge in relationships. And I don't really want to be in a more committed relationship. I just want to indulge myself in the world. Indulge myself in whatever way I want to indulge myself. And it's more about them. And that's why some of those people also, that's how they live their life. And that's why some people aren't coming to be on this journey with you. And we need to see the truth of it. For some people, they're going to have high vibe people leave their life. They're also going to have other people who want to heal a relationship with them or just be in a relationship with them because that's where they're at in life. We all like to be in relationships with people who are on the same page as us. We can all have fears, insecurities, self-limiting beliefs, want to be in a relationship. Just like some of us got in relationships and friendships or work for people like that, there's going to be other people who come to get in a relationship with them. And if those people realize that's not aligned with their truth and they're willing to face their fears about leaving, they'll move on. If there are people that get in a relationship with this person that are on the same page as them, or they're used to kind of being in relationships with people who like that, repeating an old pattern, then those people might stay in relationship with them. That's their comfort zone, and they might not be willing to step out of their comfort zone. It's just that other people were. I don't want to keep repeating that old pattern. All about self, all about ego, all about the truth is the world, being in a relationship so that I look like I'm this loving person, or I'm in a relationship with someone to love me. High vibe people, it's like, I don't want to just be in a relationship to be in a relationship. I want to be in a relationship based on truth and love. And other people could get in a relationship and stay in a relationship because it makes them look this certain way in the world. That's what shadowy energy can be about. Look, look, look. Look at me, look at me, look, look, look. Look at me. I must be a loving person, right? I must be someone who works well with others, right? I must be someone who's, indulging and looks like a boss in the world, right? And for some people, it's so much about what the world thinks of them. Even if it's not based on love, so long as it creates this illusion for the world. That's the Seven of Cups creating this illusion in the world because they're operating from pride and ego. And you saw the truth of that. You were just someone who helped this illusion about what type of person they were in the world seem to be true. But you saw the truth and saw through the illusion. they don't heal and grow and mature themselves, or maybe not more authentic where you can have a deep, meaningful relationship with them. Shadowy Six of Cups can be people who are more emotionally shallow and superficial. And you wanted to work with people that you could have a deep, meaningful relationship with, inspired by love. The other people might mistake sex for love, and they're okay just doing sex and don't want to do a deep, meaningful relationship. That's scary. I'm good with a more emotionally shallow, superficial relationship. If you're not willing to do that type of relationship with me, then they don't want to be in a relationship with you either. They could be fearful, though, that you're going to go get in the relationship of your dreams and yours is going to look like the real deal. And theirs is kind of more just looking like it's the relationship of their dreams. But they might stay in it more out of need to control people, for people to repeat this old pattern, or because of money or materialism or ego. So there you go, Capricorn. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.